Good afternoon, my enthusiastic mystery seekers and explorers of unexplored horizons. Welcome to the Neurolaxtion channel, where today we will reveal the veil of why there are so many bad people. Let's consider why they meet us on our way of life, and most importantly, how to get rid of them. Maybe they are not people at all, but programmed bots. Are you ready to dive into the world of mysteries and discoveries? Then let's start our journey. The question of the number of bad people is complex and involves many aspects. It is important to remember that the definition of bad can vary greatly depending on cultural, ethical, and moral standards. The social environment can have a significant impact on people's behavior, even if they strive to show themselves to be good. In every social environment, there are certain norms and values that determine what is considered correct behavior. People often strive to conform to these norms, and if bad behavior is common in a given group, they can support this behavior to conform. People are exposed to social pressure, which may include the expectations and demands of others. If it is customary in this group to incline to bad actions, even those who disagree with this may participate, in order to avoid conflict or isolation. Some people may adapt to their social environment in order to survive or achieve certain goals. They may feel that doing bad things is necessary or beneficial for them. In the process of growing up and socialization, many people learn how to behave correctly in this society. If they grow up in an environment where bad behavior prevails, they can accept this behavior as the norm. Some people are able to mask their true intentions and behave well in society, even if their inner beliefs or actions may be bad. This may be due to the desire to preserve social reputation. Economic and social factors greatly influence people's behavior. People living in poverty or socially unequal conditions may face great difficulties in accessing resources and opportunities. This can create motivation to commit bad actions, such as theft or fraud, as a way of survival. People surrounded by others who commit bad deeds may be exposed to social pressure or the influence of their environment. They may start copying this behavior, especially if they think it's acceptable in their environment. Lack of education or access to knowledge can limit understanding of the consequences of bad actions and moral norms. Education and information can play an important role in the formation of moral values. Unemployment and lack of prospects for the future can lead to despair and helplessness. Some people may decide that bad actions are the only way to improve their situation. Norms and values adopted in a certain cultural environment can also influence moral behavior. In some cultures, bad actions may be seen as acceptable or even encouraged. Some people may have psychological problems, such as antisocial disorder, which make them more prone to aggression and bad behavior. The family environment and upbringing can also strongly influence moral development. Children growing up in families with a lack of proper attention and negative behaviors may be at risk of becoming bad people. These factors can interact and vary depending on the specific situation. It is important to understand that even in difficult conditions, many people remain morally responsible and adhere to normal moral values. Psychological factors play an important role in shaping people's behavior. Antisocial disorder. This is a serious psychological condition characterized by constant disregard for the rules and norms of society. People with antisocial disorder can be aggressive, break the rules, lie, and not feel guilty for their actions. Narcissistic personality traits, such as excessive narcissism and lack of empathy for others, can make a person more prone to manipulation and manipulative behavior. Psychopathy is a condition characterized by a lack of guilt and conscience. People with psychopathy can exhibit antisocial behavior, including violence and manipulation, without feeling remorse. Psychological trauma and child abuse can have a negative impact on personal development. Some people who have experienced severe traumatic events may develop psychopathic or antisocial traits. People with severe emotional instability may be inclined to destructive actions, including aggression and violence. Drug and alcohol use can change people's perceptions and behavior, making them more prone to antisocial behavior. People with low self-esteem may exhibit behavior aimed at strengthening and confirming their value, even if this includes morally wrong actions. It is important to note that psychological factors do not always lead to bad behavior, and most people with similar characteristics do not become bad in the broad sense of the word. Also, morality and ethics play a key role in determining the character and behavior of people. One of the most striking moral aspects of bad people is their lack of conscience. They can violate the rules and norms of society without feeling guilty for their actions. This allows them to commit antisocial acts without remorse. Many bad people act solely in their own interests, ignoring the needs and feelings of others. Selfishness and lack of empathy can lead to manipulation, aggression, and violence. Rejection of rules and laws. Bad people can ignore the rules and laws of society, especially if they prevent them from achieving their goals. This may include theft, deception, fraud, and other offenses. Morally wrong behavior of bad people is often associated with their bad faith. They can promise one thing and do another, lie, and fail to comply with their obligations. Bad people often use manipulation to achieve their goals. It can be manipulation of the emotions of others, false promises, or even threats. One of the signs of bad people is the lack of a sense of responsibility for their actions. They may try to avoid punishment for their actions and shift the blame to others. Bad people often do not adhere to moral values such as honesty, compassion, and respect for others. This can lead to devastating consequences for their environment and society as a whole. Of course, the complexity of human nature is an important aspect that can explain the behavior of bad people. Man is a complex being, and his nature depends on many factors. Some personality traits can be inherited through genetic inheritance. This includes tendencies toward aggression, empathy, and other aspects of behavior. Childhood and upbringing play an important role in shaping a person's character and values. Children who have grown up in families with violence or neglect may develop antisocial behavior. The social and economic environment also has an impact on a person. People forced to live in disadvantaged areas or with disabilities can experience a lot of pressure, which can lead to illegal actions. Psychological disorders, such as antisocial personality disorder or personality disorder, can make a person more prone to aggression and antisocial behavior. Cultural and social factors such as mass media, group pressure, and behavioral patterns can influence moral values and norms. Long-term stress, injuries, and losses can affect a person's psychological state and contribute to negative behavior. Understanding the complexity of human nature helps us realize that bad actions are not always exclusively malicious or depend on a lack of moral values. Intervention, psychological support, and education can help people change their behavior and become better. Why is it that you get rid of one bad person in your environment, another one will definitely appear? People who have similar values, interests, or lifestyle often get together. If you leave a bad person in your life, it can open the way to the appearance of others similar to him in character. Your environment and social circle can have an impact on who you interact with. If you stay in the same social environment, there is a chance that you will meet people who are similar to those with whom you have previously communicated. Sometimes people tend to attract those who fit their own way of thinking or lifestyle. If you haven't developed the skills to recognize and manage relationships, it can lead to the appearance of bad people. People usually look for social connections, and sometimes they accept a company that can be harmful. This may be due to loneliness, a desire to belong to some group, or low self-esteem. To avoid the appearance of bad people in your life, it is important to develop the skills of recognizing healthy and destructive relationships, as well as actively work on personal growth. This may include strengthening self-esteem, setting boundaries, and choosing a society that matches your values and goals. If you find bad people in your life and temporarily cannot get rid of them, it is important to apply strategies to minimize the negative impact on your life and well-being. Here are a few steps you can take. Set clear boundaries in your relationship with these people. Be ready to defend your interests and avoid crossing borders that may harm you. Focus on your own well-being and personal growth. This will help you maintain a positive attitude and strengthen your psychological fortitude. Try to avoid confrontations and unnecessary arguments with bad people. This can only increase the conflict and tire you out. Always look for support. Discuss your situation with trusted friends or relatives. Sometimes talking to someone who supports you can help you cope with negative emotions. Take care of your physical and emotional health. Practicing meditation, yoga, or other relaxation techniques can help you cope with stress. Plan your future. Consider options for changing the situation in the future. This may include finding new social contacts or a plan to break up a relationship if possible and safe. Remember that the situation is temporary and you can find ways to deal with it. Support yourself with positive thoughts and the belief that you are able to overcome difficulties. If the situation is too complicated and negatively affects your mental health, contact a psychologist or consultant. They can help you develop correction and adaptation strategies. It is important to remember that you have the right to a healthy and respectful relationship. If bad people constantly create a negative atmosphere and affect you harmfully, consider the possibilities for the final completion of these relationships when the opportunity arises. So from the above, we can draw the following conclusions about bad people. Bad people exist in different spheres of life, and their behavior can be caused by various factors, including the social environment, economic and psychological aspects. Negative behavior does not always mean that a person is inherently bad. Sometimes this is due to life circumstances, stress, or other factors. Interacting with bad people requires the ability to set boundaries, focus on self-development, avoid conflicts, and seek support. It is important to maintain positive relationships and take care of your own physical and emotional health. Sometimes relationships with bad people become too toxic, and it is important to know when to finally end such relationships, for the sake of your own well-being. Ultimately, it's important to remember that your health and well-being are a priority, and you have the right to a healthy and positive relationship in your life. Join me, my inquisitive friends. We will raise the most interesting questions, where we will look for answers together. To do this, we will open the mind and erase the boundaries. The riddles of the world are waiting for us, and each answer that we find opens up even more questions for us. This is an endless ocean of knowledge, and we are floating in it together as explorers in the boundless depths of space. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel so as not to miss a single exciting moment of our journey. And remember that the truth is somewhere nearby, and you and I will do everything possible to discover it. See you soon, my enthusiastic and inquisitive friends. In the next exciting video, I will try very hard to make it even more interesting and informative. Positive energy to you.